goal isn't to live forever. The goal is to create something that will.
Welcome to Perspective, a podcast for wedding creators where we sit down often with a special guest and talk about our many years of experience in the wedding industry so you can learn from us and grow your wedding business. Hi, I'm Simon.
And I'm Greg.
Together, we are Cinemate Films, two Scottish-based wedding filmmakers who love nothing more than drinking coffee and talking shop with others in the wedding industry. This episode is, of course, sponsored by With Jack and Pick Time, but I will get onto that a little bit later in the show. Good morning, Gregory. How are we doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm grand. But who are we talking to?
We are talking to Scott and Olivia from Burn the Script. Hey, guys.
Hi, how you doing?
Hello. Thanks for joining us today.
All right, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I was on your YouTube channel, the Burn the Script one. I don't know if it's new. Is it new? You only had one video.
It's been there for a long time, but there's never really been anything posted. But we've just we've always had like a bit of a vlog thing going anyway, but it's been more of like a personal. We've got a separate channel, but we just thought we've got all of these vlogs that we film for various different things anyway, and it made sense to suddenly. I just thought may as well start putting them out on YouTube as well. So.
Yeah. Obviously there's only one video at the moment, but it was the NEC video, which I was, I watched fully all the way through. And, it looked like it was a really good event. Although you did look absolutely shattered after the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of them, a lot of socialising and just a lot of moving about. So we're like the south of the south coast. We're down in Portsmouth, and this was in Birmingham, so that was a solid.
It's a 3-hour drive just to get there anyway. So we were up and out early, and then on the road for a few hours. And yeah, it was I don't think I'd quite intended to be there as long as we were. We were there for pretty much the whole thing, and hadn't quite intended for that. But it was really cool. It was cool being able to see, all of the sort of like names that you kind of expect to see, and it's cool being able to go and touch all the big, nice, fancy cameras. So,
yeah, you were interested in the 28-70, was that, Olivia? Is that
well? I think that's my favorite lens, but you're not too keen.
No, well, when I picked it up, I just thought it's actually just really big, and obviously when we're doing weddings, having something that big feels cumbersome to like lug about. But there was some other ones that were a little bit more handheld, or ones that would be better suited for me, I think.
Yeah. Is that the Canon 28-70?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because that is a bit more girthy than
it is. Yeah,
than the other one. I mean,
it's a wide boy.
Yeah.
It is a wide boy. I was intrigued. Before I get you to introduce yourselves, I was intrigued by this moment in the vlog. I'm just going to call it a vlog. I can't remember what the title was. When I think you'd listened to someone on stage, and you were just like, "This is fucking terrible advice." You don't need to name and shame, but what was the advice that was really offensive to you?
We can't even really go too much into it, because as soon as we give the title, it's immediately obvious who it was. But
we had to cut a bit out.
I think, there was quite a rant cut out. But I think when you're at a place like that, and there's such a wide variety of people that you could be talking to, I feel that the advice should maybe be as such, but it was, I don't know. There wasn't for a half-hour talk. There wasn't really that much advice actually given. It was like more a lot of
words with no kind of purpose, I think, is probably the best way to put it. There was a lot of talking of stuff, but not really much being said. And it was just like, there are sometimes people that have lots of experience and do amazing things, and it's great, but just because you've given them a mic, it doesn't necessarily mean that they should be people that give advice. And that's like the same across the industry. It doesn't have to be just photography either, like just anyone. Just because they've done something good, it doesn't mean that they've got like a good ground to kind of give some advice. But I think the main bit that we took from it that was like questionable, and it's something that I feel like it's a real controversial one within the photography, videography kind of sector, is the charging people to download their gallery after they've already paid their photographers.
Yep. Okay.
And I don't know what your guys' opinions are on those things either, but it would just, we didn't know who was in the room, so it's just a weird one to advise on, I think.
Yeah. I have had this experience before, and it did leave a very salty taste in my mouth, if I'm honest. Like, I've already paid. Why are you making me pay again? What's going on here?
Exactly.
And I mean, like, at least communicate. I mean, the minimum would be just for you to communicate at the end, but that wasn't done.
No.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like,
I think better. I mean, I know, I'm fully aware that a huge part of the photography industry as a whole is after sales, and that's a lot of photographers are making the money by selling the physical prints and selling digital albums afterwards, and galleries. And I think for me personally, as just a human in the world, I don't like being sold to. So for me to then go out and do the thing that I just dislike to other people just doesn't sit right. So we don't do it. We just don't do after sales or anything like that. Like, it's
interesting.
The price you've seen is the price you pay. You get all of them. Everything's digital. We don't.
If they want to buy prints or whatever from the galleries after, they're like completely within their right to do that, but we're not going to be on their back going like, oh, don't forget you can do this and buy this extra stuff and pay us more money, because we just hate that. Like, that whole Lush experience, going in, being bombarded, like, what can we help you with? That's just not for us.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of a balance for me, because I've spoken to other photographers who like really concentrate on selling albums, and I feel like we maybe used to do that as a collective, like maybe 10 years ago. It used to be like album sales was how we really did a lot of our business, and I feel like the art of that is lost. But like, if you're really passionate, like if you've gone out your way as a photographer to really do research and to look at what makes a good album and stuff like that, and you're actually really passionate about the product that you're giving to clients, I would rather try and communicate that in a better way to let them know exactly why they should be getting this print, because
100%.
I don't know. I feel like I only want to sell things I'm kind of passionate about, So yeah.
And to be fair, that's probably our thing, is we haven't got a gallery album physical at the moment that we're like, this is the one. Like, but that's on our like list of things to like get the brand really extra level and all the bits at the end. We're like kind of in the middle of updating the physical side of the business, and finding a decent album is kind of part of that.
Sure. Yeah.
I think, I mean, cool. So we use PicTime as well. So we like the ability that they've got, the couples have got to be able to go and sort of choose their own products without us having to be too sort of heavily involved in that process. And I think like, I think that's good for that. Again, I've always done business the way that I would want to be treated as from the other side. So again, it's that I know that, especially for us being creative and doing what we do, is I know that I would want the opportunity to be able to build an album and choose which photos are going where, and the layouts on each pages, and what the album looks like and feels like. And I like to hope that the clients, the couples that we're bringing in, are sort of like-minded, have that sort of creative flair as well, and would enjoy that process of, they've had their wedding and they still get like an extended process of being able to design an album. And I think that's, again, that it's all based on us, really. We're quite selfish in that respect, I guess, is that it's about us and what we would like. And I think, I mean, we tend to find that a lot of our couples tends to be pretty similar in that they're not looking for anything specifically, and if they are, then they've got the options to go and find that once, through the gallery, and they've got access to that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, nothing wrong with being selfish. But hang on, Greg. I feel like we've gotten enough into this conversation without an introduction, and that's making me uncomfortable. So, okay. So, guys, why don't you introduce yourselves? Who are you? What do you do? And then we'll start with there.
So I'm Olivia.
I'm Scott.
We're Burn the Script. We are wedding photographers and videographers. We also do a little bit of content creation on there as well with our resident content creator. And we created Burn the Script to be the antithesis of normal. We want to be the people that can allow people to feel like they can do things their way, get rid of tradition, and just be 100% themselves, because that's what we love to do.
Yeah.
I think we've spent years and years building portfolios of white traditional weddings. And I mean, there's nothing particularly traditional about either of us. We're both covered in tattoos, mohawk, pink hair. Like, it didn't fit the grade. And we realized that the couples that we do really enjoy working with are alternative couples, people that have got fire breathers at their wedding, or they're turning up on horseback, turning up on motorbikes. It's
tattoo
all those
vans
tattoo vans, and it's all those sorts of things that we realize quite quickly that they're the people that we like working with. So let's build our brand to replicate that.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a more like this change is a really recent change, right? Because you weren't always Burn the Script.
Nope.
You were Scott's brand.
So it was just Scott Moore. Well, so it started as Scott Moore Photography. It was just me. It ran as that for a number of years, and successes each to their own. But I had varying levels of success within that. But it was always just photography. I was always capped at a certain price point because I didn't have the faith in myself and in the brand and business that I could ever push it further than that. So I just always capped myself. I was doing anywhere between 45 and 60 weddings a year, and that just sort of stuck for a long time. And then I met Liv, and Liv by trade is a graphic designer, brand strategist. So she has just huge amounts of knowledge in how to pull out bits of brands that they didn't even realize that they had in there in the first place. I always remember when we sat down for the first time and did the initial change from Scott Murray Photography to Scott Murray Photo and Video, and even just the icons and the elements that were put into the logos, even the colors, like the orange that is now so prevalent in all of our branding. I never would have gone into a meeting like that and said, I really want orange. Like that, it just wasn't a thing that had crept up to me, but had to Olivia. And it's things like that now are huge across the, every platform we've got has that color set within it.
Just needed a step up.
Yeah. So then Scott Murray Photo Video was there for a little while, but obviously then we were turning up to client meetings, couple meetings with both of us under Scott Murray Photo Video, and that just didn't sit right with me because it's not just me anymore. There's two of us. I'm doing 50% of the work now. It's not just, before it was just me. It made sense, but I don't know if I particularly wanted it to be like Scott and Olivia Photography or weddings or anything like that. So we wanted something that was a bit more unique. And Burn the Script just
came out really organically over conversation when we were talking about okay, what do we want from this? What are the values? What are we trying to achieve for our couples, or what do we allow them to achieve? What's that bigger transformation? And Burn the Script just stuck as our bigger kind of mission.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the rebrand.
I'm sure we'll get into the details of the branding, but you mentioned there about feeling like you were capped at a certain price by fear or something. Has this rebrand allowed you to sort of break through that cap and remove the fear because you now have a solid vision and a solid sort of branding?
Yes, I think there's I think within the wedding industry there's this thing of dive into the bottom of the barrel as quickly as everyone can. Like everyone,
to the bottom.
The couples that we were looking at that point, where everyone was just trying to get as cheap as they could because they felt like they needed photography, but they didn't particularly want photography. And I think that's why I was always at that point of, it wasn't too much that it was deemed expensive, but it wasn't too cheap that I was deemed like a student either. So, and I think that's where it kind of sat for a really long time. And it was my own sort of apprehension of increasing prices. Like it's always that you increase your prices, no one books for 4 weeks, and you're like, I've done the wrong thing, I need to jump it back down again. And I think that was what it was always been. Like I'd always do a couple of steps forward and then panic and drop it back, or there'd always be a banner on the website that said 10% off or whatever. Like it was just one of those.
Constantly a banner.
It was it was just one of those, like a fear of not succeeding, I guess, and not charging my worth. And then I think with sort of the couple of rebrands that we've had, and then obviously the offering has extended then from just photography to videography and drones, content creation. Like it sort of, the packages grew exponentially from just photography. And I think even just that in itself, and then having the belief that we are very capable at what we do, was more than enough to then think, well, actually the price point is able to increase because of, one, the packages have increased in themselves, but also the knowledge and experience is there. There's a value to that. And I think that's what a lot of photographers and videographers don't do, is they don't think about how many jobs they've done to get to where they are, to have the knowledge that they are able to share with their couples, and even down to things, last minute things happening on the day. Someone that's got the experience to sort of just take that in their stride, whereas someone that maybe doesn't, then can slip up on a wedding day when you don't need that stress on a day. But equally, with increasing package prices, meant that the couples that we were suddenly dealing with were
amazing.
Just it went from like struggling to get them to pay full price, and was always being offered discounts, and people sort of being like, oh well, we don't need you for 10 hours, can we get you for 9 hours, and you cut a bit of the price off, and to then having couples that were paying will pay full price. They're not worried about the price. They're not worried about discounts.
They'll fly us across
the country. They're paying for hotels. It instantly, almost overnight, changed the type of couples that we were working with. And I think that in itself was like the biggest. Oh, we can do this. Like, this is cool, because people want to be involved and they're willing to pay for services from people that they believe in. I think
it was just couples that actually saw the value in what we did and were willing to pay for it, because the price point that we were at before was just that. It was the caliber of wedding that had a smaller budget, and no shade to smaller budgets, like everyone's working to what they've got, but for the type of work that we wanted to produce, it was for people that genuinely did. Am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, you can swear.
Okay. It's the people that will actually give a shit about this stuff, and that's the kind of people that we work with.
Yeah. So just so people kind of get a rough idea of pricing, where were you and that was making you unhappy, and then where have you branched to now in terms of packages and prices?
So for full day photography, it sat for the longest time at $995.
With a 15% off banner on the website.
With the banner on the website.
No one ever paid $995.
And then I think it crept up to $12.95, and that's where it sat for then the longest time. And it was there forever. The banner was there, so that there was always that. Again, it was that because I'd been sat at $995 for such a long time, having the $12.95, but then with the 15% off if you ask nicely type thing, like it then dropped it back down to that $995, and that for me was comfortable, because at 50, 60 weddings, it's comfortable. Like you can live off that. Like it's there's worse ways to live, and I think then that the step up then sort of
felt huge.
Felt massive from that point.
So it went up to 2249 for just photography.
Yeah.
Nice.
And our highest package was 2699 for photo video, and we booked them like
constant
all the time.
And it got to a point where I think we included the packages of photo to photographers or photo video. And I think like from the get-go of having those packages available, like we booked the photo video non-stop constantly. And again, it's because, and I mean, it varies across the country, but that is still cheap for an all-day package of photo and video.
Yeah. So we have since changed that.
We've increased again. Yeah.
Great.
So with the change of Burn the Script, we're now for the full shebang with content creation, all that kind of stuff. That's $42. Is it $42.99?
$42.99, yeah.
$14.99 for everything. So that's sort of got your content creation on it as well. Photo video now sits at, it's changed so recently.
$3,699 is photo video.
Okay.
So it's a lot more of a competitive or challenging price point.
Yeah, I mean, just to put it this way, and I know you guys are in Scotland, there's no shade at all. There's a couple from Scotland in Edinburgh that are flying us from Hampshire to Scotland, staying and flying back because our price was cheaper, which again, to me, that was a bit of an indication of like,
we're still too low.
If we're being flown across the country and it's still cheaper than paying a local shooter, we're massively undercharging still. So again, I think it's always going to be like a bit of there's always a learning curve to it. There's always going to be, and I think when you're moving across pricing structures, pricing boundaries like that, again, there's we've stepped into like the next sort of tier of pricing, and even then it's still like actually it's still not quite right. So yeah, I think
that's where we went from and to though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's still room to go up for sure for you guys.
Oh yeah,
like I mean, that's still a great price. But I mean, it is funny because like Edinburgh in particular, I mean, there are some incredibly amazing, incredibly high-end photographers that are charging like, I mean, 10 plus to shoot.
Yeah, I love that.
And so but that is a hell of a jump to get there. So
that's like proper luxury, isn't it?
It is. But yeah. I'm intrigued how you guys met because like I found you guys through TikTok. Which I'm always intrigued with TikTok, even still, because I think many wedding suppliers have jumped on and they're just not using it right. They're treating it like Instagram, and they're creating stuff on Instagram and then trying to migrate it over to TikTok, and it's just not the right platform for like the way that many people are treating it. But you guys were very like front facing, and you are putting yourselves right out there, which I loved about it.
It's mostly you on the TikTok, to be fair, but we've got some funny ones. We've had a lot of fun with it.
I think so. I jumped on TikTok originally in lockdown just as like a personal account, and that grew quickly during. I mean, lockdown, nobody was going anywhere. Like pretty much everyone was using TikTok at that point. So like it was probably the best time for any kind of account like that to grow because everyone was shut in their homes and couldn't do anything else. And
like 40,000.
It grew. Yeah, it was like 40,000 followers and like millions of likes across the account. And like, but it was literally just me being an idiot, really. Like it was just me being stupid. There was no, I wasn't doing anything to do with photography. I wasn't doing anything to do
meaningful,
with any niche. Like it was just me being an idiot, really. And I think I kind of took that tact again with the photography stuff. So I'd had like a bit of when it was Scott Murray Photography, I had it then as well. And you see so many photographers use it, like you say, as Instagram. They'll use it as portfolios, and it's just people aren't going to TikTok for that. They're going to TikTok to, there's a small portion of like education on there. There's portions of people being stupid. There's trends
of the social media type of marketing. If there's anywhere to not show your portfolio, it's probably TikTok.
Yeah.
It's probably the best place to go and show your actual personality, and that's kind of what our TikTok account is okay, this is who we actually are. Like, this is how we talk. This is what we do on a day to day.
This is who's going to turn up to your wedding, basically. Like, we want people to feel like there's personality there. And I think that's why we've taken that tact of, even across Instagram, to be fair, like, although we still put examples of our work up, it's still largely sort of education for couples and advice on things for wedding days, and a bit more personality of us, because, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, the one piece of advice that we always give to our couples is to make, you know, when you're looking for a photographer or videographer, make sure you meet them, even if it's just on a Zoom call or Google Meet or whatever, because if you can't stand them for half an hour over a pint or a cup of coffee, how are you going to deal with them being around you for 12 hours on your wedding day? Like, it's mad that, you know, it does happen all the time. People will get booked and then turn up on the day, and all of a sudden the couple realize that the photographers are a bit of a wanker and they don't want them there. Like, and we don't want that. Like, we want people to know that we're turning up to the wedding and feel like, you know, we're going to blend in, we're going to be more like guests with cameras, and just be able to get along and do our thing.
Most of our inquiries come from TikTok now, which is mad and like kind of what we didn't expect. But all of those couples that we then meet and talk to, they're like, we saw you on TikTok, we just felt like you would blend in with our day, and you'd be like a mate on the day, and that's proof.
Which is, I mean, it's I always get a bit scared when I see an inquiry come in and it says they found us through TikTok, because
what have you seen?
What have you seen? Yeah, have you seen me? I've either given some really solid advice, or I've been an absolute twat on camera. Like, there's no divide in between. It's one or the other.
Well, they clearly liked it.
Well, exactly. I mean, for me, it was like seeing your personality, and I just thought, oh man, I would just love to chat with these guys at a pub. Like that was essentially what drew me to it. Was just the energy of you guys. So, I mean, so you're booking stuff from TikTok. I was just trying to check. Hang on. How many followers do you have on TikTok?
Not many. It's like 1,700 or something.
So this is the thing, right? Many people jumped on TikTok originally, maybe a couple of years ago, because Gary Vee was like, "Oh, it's going to get you out there to millions of people," blah 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 blah. And then you kind of, for those that maybe jumped on and maybe weren't getting those numbers, they were a little bit put off with that kind of lie, that interpretation of what TikTok was, and so many people have kind of fallen off. The problem is, for me, the numbers are okay. Yeah, great. I love big numbers and all that kind of stuff. But if you imagine a client and like the number one fear is, am I going to get on with this person? Because like you just said, you don't want a dick showing up at your wedding. And the whole, I mean, I can't remember the name. Hewitt, who's that Australian guy? Paul Hewitt? Huggett?
Josh Huggett.
Josh. Sorry, fucking hell, Josh. He used to show like 360 footage, working behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. And I loved that kind of content. It was very well for him. It was quite viral. Obviously, he's made a quite success. He's made a success out of it. But if you didn't want to do the 360 stuff and show the behind the scenes, then getting on camera, even in your own house, and showing your personality, for me was just equally as good. Now, it doesn't have maybe the virality of what Josh was doing. If you have if you are that sort of way inclined to swear and create like almost like a controversy of being him at a wedding, but just showing who you are is so powerful. Even if it's just the few people that you are connecting with, those connections are extremely powerful because they're personal. I mean, like I said, I got you on the podcast because I felt like I wanted to be around you guys because of your energy. I hadn't thought, I need to then check out their portfolio.
No.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Of course I did. And that kind of backed up, they actually can pull out the goods. But yeah, it's that energy. I think that's such a powerful thing that we miss out on just because we're looking at numbers.
100%.
But
I think so my background, separate to this, is social media, brand, that kind of vibe. So the social media side of thing, and that was like a weird thing as well, was I was like, you don't need to just post your photos anymore. Like you can all that silly stuff you were doing on TikTok before, just personally for fun, you can bring that into your brand, because other people, they look for mirrors of themselves, and all we do with social media, with the brand, is hold up a mirror to those people and say, look, you can be like that too. Like you can have fun, you can do what you want, you can be yourself. We're going to champion that. We're going to support you in doing weird, wonderful, crazy things on your wedding day. Because we do weird things in our day to day. Like this is our life. Like we do random crazy shit, like, and we have fun doing it. And I think that's, if we can kind of convey that in one way or another. And the great thing about TikTok is that it's off the cuff. You don't have to practice it, you don't have to rehearse. In fact, the stuff that is just like quick, it's the stuff that goes like more viral. But on the, I'm not going to go on about it too long, like virality content versus not, but it's great to have some videos that go really well. Like we had a couple that got like tens of thousands of views, but it's the ones with like 500 views that actually get us the conversions, because it's so niche, so specific, so personal, that those people that have come over from that bigger video are then getting to see us day to day, and that's more powerful. So when you said it's a really powerful tool, like 100%, that is how we use that as a tool.
Yeah, it is really interesting. I will say, not that we've been burnt with virality, but I feel that is maybe the case. So we've had a couple of viral moments, but they are very much, they are attracting a lot of attention, but not a lot of connection with potential clients, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as it's something,
it's very broad, isn't it?
Then the net suddenly becomes really wide, and you've got lots of people that just aren't going to be your target demographic at all. And I think that's what people don't see, is they'll look at the numbers and be like, oh, that video's got millions of likes or views.
Oh, wow, they've got 50,000 followers or whatever.
But then as soon as you actually look at that, and you go back to their account, and it's like, a video's got 500,000 likes, but you go back and their account's still got 500 followers, and it's like, that's not done anything for you. It's great that your account has boosted that quickly, but unless it's, especially, and I think, I guess when you're from a business perspective as well, that does nothing. Like it's you've had a lot of eyes on your business, but are those people going to remember you in,
I'd rather have
half an hour, let alone in
be
10
stuck
days.
in that 300 view jail, but have 300 eyes that are like genuinely interested in us as people or potential clients, rather than having 60k people view a video that they're not even getting married, they're not interested in us. Like it's just a piece of virality content. Like I'd much rather have the smaller numbers.
Yeah. Plus, when you get to a wedding and you're working with those people who just have that same energy, it just makes you feel so much better about your life. I don't know. Like there are so many shitty things in life right now that when you just are with a couple, like we just started off our year heading up to Inverness for a big American wedding, and the couple were just like the best. It was like innuendos all day. Like their parents were super conservative, but they were just like hilarious alternative. Doc wearing tattoo. Oh, it was so good. It was just nerds.
But
geeks.
everyone just relaxes so much more, don't they? Like because everyone's on the same wavelength. Like yes, it's a wedding. Yes, it's high pressure, it's a stressful day, like whatever for them, for us, but if you've got that common ground, there's a film that you all like, or there's some jokes that you can all put, like you're not then thinking about that as much. Like it's just such a nicer day, which is why that's our like biggest piece of advice, is make sure that you actually get along with them.
So on that, like how would you describe, if you're asked to describe your target audience, who's your couples?
Us. And
and again, I think it comes back to that, being selfish. It's about us, but it's because the people that we surround ourselves with in our day-to-day lives, our friends, our family, are very much like us. They're all a bit quirky. They've got tattoos, or I mean, I seem to attract lots of people with ADHD. Like, it's just one of those, like, there's just lots of people to us that are, I mean,
I think it's just being really solid in like the things that you like. Like all of our couples have got like really niche interests, or like love film sets or series, or I don't know, like people like musicians and that kind of stuff. Like, I think we're very much energy readers, or I'm a big energy reader. I'm really good at reading people. And so I think when we meet couples, or I think the TikTok thing helps because we're able to like do that organically anyway. And then when we jump on calls with people, we're just vibing like so easily back and forth because the energy is just reciprocated. I think that's the biggest thing, is everyone that comes on call is just like, hey, what's up? Like, da-da-da. Like, just really calm. It's not like, right, this is a business meeting, we need to be really serious now. Like, it's just really casual and chatty.
Yeah, and that's what I'll say about the couple that we just filmed. Our client calls were more about TV shows and books and just general chit chat, and then the groom would be like, "Oh, we should probably move back to the the questions that we've got." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, ask some questions." And about 2 questions later, we're back on
something else,
TV shows and films. Like, it's just hilarious, and I don't know, there's just a nice way of working with the people that you vibe with.
Yeah. I don't know. I know it does sound selfish, us saying like us, but if you ask pretty much any supplier ever who their target audience is, even if they don't realize it, the way they describe it will be themselves, because you know yourself, like you know what you like, you know how you would like things done, so it makes sense to have it that way. Like all of my clients separately to this, they're all looking for people who value the same things as them. Like, I've got an eco-friendly cake maker. She wants to work with other people that value the eco-friendly site weddings. Like, everyone has that reciprocated, selfish target audience. But
not selfish. I think, know
what you like.
Yeah, no, exactly. Oh God, I've my mind's just skipped there.
Sorry.
I'll jump this. No, it's fine. Neurospicy here as well. You mentioned ADHD. This is not the question, but I thought I'll just jump to it. Are you both ADHD? You're one of you?
I mean,
there's
something in there, but Olivia's diagnosed ADHD.
Yeah, I'm the raging ADHD. Yeah.
How do you find this? Because we were just at a photography workshop a couple of weeks ago, and one of our pals did a talk about ADHD. Now, we were shooting, we didn't get a chance to do the talk, although I'm definitely gonna get her on the podcast to talk about ADHD, because I think a lot of us out there are definitely on the spectrum. I just don't think a lot of people actually know, which is a wild thing, because I feel like there's this big push right now to let everyone know that they might have some sort of neurodivergence somewhere, and I do think a lot of us can if we don't, if we are not, if we don't know that that's a possibility, the outcome can be, oh, I'm dumb, I'm not good at this, and it becomes kind of like you repress a little bit. So what's your experience with ADHD? How did you discover it? Are you medically diagnosed? Like medication? Are you? And do you mind talking about this all the stuff?
No, I'm so open about it. No,
okay, cool.
I always knew there was something different about me when I was at school. Like, I was always the creative kid. I did really well at school. Like, and especially in women with ADHD, they're very good at just getting on with things, and like masking is really, really common for females specifically. And it wasn't until I got to college and I was like really, really, really bad at the academic stuff, but excelled in art. And I was like, okay, something's going on here. And I realized that my way of working was very, very different to my peers. I was last minute. I was always doing things what felt to other people sloppy, but I knew exactly what I was doing, and I knew I'd hit deadlines to a high standard and did. And so I started getting a diagnosis when I went to university. It took 6 years to get a full diagnosis for me. And I started medication last year, didn't I? In March last year. And it worked for a little bit, and then it just didn't agree with me, or the one that I was on specifically didn't work for me. But the main thing for me was I felt like it took my creativity away, which is a big thing for me because that is how I do my job. Like, whether it's photography or my design work, my job is in the creative industry, and I need that part of my brain, the crazy, amazing part of my brain, to work, to do my job. And I think when you said about like repression of symptoms or the way that it makes you feel like that you're dumb and that kind of thing, it's taken a long time, but to turn that narrative a little bit and be like, actually, it's my biggest superpower. And I think a lot of people in the wedding industry, like you said, do have ADHD because it's so creative, and most creative people do have something neurospicy going on. I don't think logical brains can like handle creativity as well as a neurospicy brain. But it is my biggest superpower. It is the thing that has got me to where I am today, and I don't know what I'd actually do without it, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I was diagnosed with dyslexia, like maybe when I was 11 or something. And I don't know. I feel like all the narrative is coming back. All these kind of 90s terms are coming back. The even you. I don't want to say all these things because I don't want to continue the narrative, but like the use of the R word or all those kind of slurs are coming back into the zeitgeist again. I'm like, what? How has this happened again? But there was one thing. I mean, I hate Trump, right? But did you see him referring to President Newsom or Newscomb? Is that how he said it? The Californian mayor. Is that right? Yeah, mayor. Anyway, he was talking about his dyslexia and calling him dumb and stupid. And I'm like, well, I'm glad that people are starting to talk about dyslexia again, because for a while there, I thought we were just forgotten about as a group. But I don't know how I appreciate like dumb again. Why are we coming back to this? No, it's a gift. It's a gift. We have superpowers. 100%.
Yeah, it literally is superpowers. Like, we've got unlocked parts of our brains, like, and we get full access to them as well when we do it right. Like, and it is the best thing ever. I think when I was medicated, you were like, what's happened to you?
I think, it's almost like...
And I don't want to give medication a bad rap, because it is amazing for some people. And I've only tried one type, and, it might be that in the future I try a different variation of it, and it works fine. So before I get cancelled for like hating on people that are medicated for their conditions, like, you do you.
No,
absolutely. I think it was almost like it would, like, pre-medication, there was like the tap was on, the tap was just running. It was like a full steam, like constant. And then you took the medication, it was like just like a bit of a drip, and it just wasn't as, everything was like, it was almost like you were sort of like numbed down a little bit. Like you weren't fully...
I wasn't able to access the crazy part of my brain.
Which is where the creativity comes from. Like, and I think that was like the biggest impact. And I think as soon as you sort of realized that and then stopped taking the medication, then all of a sudden it was like tap was flowing again. 158 tabs are open. Like it's that it was all all working again. And I think that was what you were missing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was good that you clarified that about the medication, because, yes, you are right that there is a negative connotation out there about meds and stuff. So yeah, I mean, my wife, she has ADHD, suspected ADHD, which is a kind of non-medical term for having both autism and ADHD, which is fascinating. But she's on, I can't remember what it was. But essentially, for those who aren't familiar, it's essentially meth.
Yeah.
It's methamphetamines, which is wild. just wild, because any other person would be off their tits. But she's just like, gotta get my uni work done.
And it was like that. And to be fair, that's what I said, was if I did a linear job, like if I was, and I'm going to give the scenario of I used to work in a coffee shop. So if I was working at a coffee shop, I'd be so efficient. I would get everything done because it's methodical. There is a routine to everything. My days are not routine based. They are different every day. I work with different clients. I put different hats on all the time. So that logical bit isn't a part of my brain that I need to access. So if she's doing a uni degree, I could have absolutely smashed that medication at uni. That would have been amazing. I would have been so much better. But I didn't have it then. But now I don't need that because my life is very fluid in routine.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, you're very exciting to live with. Surely, Scott. Yeah. Surely.
Yeah, I mean, is to be fair, like, it's not as crazy as
the media makes
out to be, but there are quite a lot of conversations at about 5 to midnight when you're like, I really want to go to sleep, and you've started talking about
what's the meaning of life?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get that.
Big deep conversations at very inappropriate times.
Yeah. Do you do that thing that my wife does, where she starts off our conversation in the world halfway through the inner conversation that she's had, and expects me to know what we've been talking about prior to actually speaking out loud?
You say it all the time. You say, I think you've had that conversation in your head.
Yeah. Yes. It's very fun. I do like that game. I do like it. It's good.
It's a good job you're quite telepathic now, so you can
kind of tell when I've definitely not had that conversation yet.
Yeah. It's good.
The other one is normally it'd be wake up in the morning and I'd quite like to replant some things in the garden, and then before we've known it, we've dug up the entire garden because we're relaying it and re-landscaping the entire back garden. That happens quite often.
I have no excuses.
Yeah, no, I did that once for the garden. I was like, I'm gonna put a flower bed around the edge of the garden by the road. Dug out the trench, which was far harder than I thought it would ever be.
Everything should take 5 minutes.
Yeah, but then that was it. I was like, well, it didn't follow through with putting anything in it. Putting soil, plants. No, it was just a fucking trench.
Just a trench.
That cars would just like dive into when they weren't paying attention. And I thought, that's enough enjoyment. Just watching cars like get stuck in this trench. But yeah, it's still there. I need to fix it, but it's just
I do that a lot.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm lucky that you do you fuel my
go along
ADHD with spirals, and you're like, right, okay, sure, why not?
Yeah. I think it's sometimes easier to go with the flow of water than fight against it.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I feel like, obviously, dyslexic here, but I think Greg has managed to find the flow with working with me. Yeah. Would you say that, Greg?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Everyone needs every ADHD needs like a calm
pillar.
Pillar. Yeah.
Yes. Well, let's talk about you guys, because you're kind of in the middle of planning now. Is it a 2027 date that you're going for, or is it even further? Is it 2028? I thought it was further.
Yeah.
So yeah, how's your relationship been with work? Is it intense working together and living together all the time? And how is your perception?
It's actually our anniversary today as well.
What?
Congratulations.
Oh, happy anniversary. Oh my God.
it's not as intense as you think.
Some people would really struggle. But
yeah, I think it's that. I think when you've kind of found your person, like it doesn't make that much difference. Like working from home and still then being at home after work is still great. It means that we've got we can.
I think we've worked really hard to get a good balance as well.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is as well is when people, we see we'll have a spare day on a weekend or whatever, like on a Sunday, and we'll be like, oh, we'll actually get to spend some time together. But our friends and family probably don't understand that because they're like, we've been together a week, but we're working. It's like a different, like we have meetings on a Monday morning together, go put our diaries together and stuff. And we're very good at differentiating between work and home. So I think it just works really nicely.
Yeah. Plus, I believe you're one of these rare couples that actually likes each other. I mean, that's wild. There's not many of us out there.
No, it does help. It does help.
It does really help. Yeah. No, it's so good. But yeah, it's been fun. We really enjoy it. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's been good.
So just to clarify, you said anniversaries today. Which anniversary is this? The time your first date, your proposal?
Yeah, it'd be. I mean, first date. I guess it was technically a first date, but boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh,
gross.
That's why we got fiance an upgrade really real quick because boyfriend and girlfriend is not a word I like.
Yeah, no, I get that. What was your first date like then?
I was vegetarian at the time.
Yeah, it was difficult for me not knowing any vegetarian good restaurants for that. I had to message my cousin who used to be a vegetarian and had a good recommendation, but we went to an exclusively vegetarian restaurant, which is quite nice to be fair.
It was quite nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
We just went out for dinner. And that was it really.
Yeah.
And then you never left.
I didn't leave, yeah. Stuck with me forever.
That was it. Oh, well. That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
So how about planning a wedding while you're so involved in the industry? How's that?
I think you help so many couples come to terms with planning different parts of their day, especially as photographers. You see an entire wedding day. That's your job. Like you see it from start to finish all the time. Whereas I think a lot of suppliers tend to dip in and out. Like there are obviously a handful of suppliers that are with couples for the entire day, but the majority of them all sort of like dip in and out throughout the day, whether it's with the dress or the shoes or the flowers or the food or the DJ. Whereas photo, video, content creators, sometimes celebrants, people like that, we're there from sort of start to finish and see everything. So I think we went into it thinking we know sort of everything there is to do with weddings. And then all of a sudden, I think things then open up with especially with your own timelines, because even the reason of our wedding being 2028 was because we had to physically book our own wedding when we didn't have other weddings to shoot. So trying to, it's even things like that was suddenly like, well, we got engaged last year. So at that point it was like, we've got about 3 years until we need to, until a wedding. And
now we've got 2 years.
It got to this year, we were like, oh shit, we've got 2 years and we've not done anything. So
I think we're blessed with knowing lots and lots of amazing creatives and suppliers, and everyone wants a piece of the wedding, which is amazing. We're so lucky to have that. But there's a lot of not pressure. I don't think pressure is the right word, but we don't want to upset anybody. We don't want to let anyone down by saying, oh, we're going to go with them over you, or because we've got to work with so many lovely people and so many amazing suppliers in all of the different areas.
But equally, I think it's that, and it's the same advice that we'd give to couples, is that if you don't feel like the plans for your wedding aren't suited to certain suppliers, we're not going to go and book someone that traditionally just does white weddings, because chances are ours isn't going to be a traditional white wedding. We're not cutting the cake when you would normally do it, and our venue is on a farm, and it's I'm probably going to be in some kind of, I don't know, like red velvet tuxedo or something. Like it's not.
Ooh, nice.
It's not
with Converse.
With Converse, yeah. Like, it's
hell
not
yes.
it's not going to be a traditional wedding. So we're not going to go with, although we've got lots of friends and contacts within the industry that would be, are phenomenal suppliers within their own niche. Ours, we're going to be looking for suppliers that fit within the niche of what our wedding is going to be. So
I mean, that's what our business is all about. So it'd be kind of hypocritical if we were like, oh, we'll just do them because they're local or whatever.
Or cheap, or
it just stick true to our values.
Yes. Talk about values and how you describe yourselves as alternative wedding suppliers. What are some of the pet peeves of the wedding industry that you guys have?
Ooh.
I mean, I think for me especially, I think the traditions that lots of people will follow because their grandmother had their wedding that way, so that's how they have to have their wedding. Or, and I mean, I guess to some extent, you'd expect there to be a lot of freedom with like picking your guests, and that it's easy to pick people based on whatever factors you deem them worthy of coming to your wedding. But I think that's something that has always bugged me as a supplier is, you're speaking to a couple and the example is like, oh, well, we need to invite Uncle Dave because Mum said that we need to invite him, but we don't want him there because
his family
likes a bit of a drink, or it's someone else's extended family, and they don't necessarily see them that often, so they don't want to invite them. And our advice is always, well, I mean, if one that I always go with is, if you wouldn't buy them at McDonald's, then why are you inviting them to a 3-course meal? Like it's that
You're
kind of
spending like £100 a head average for food, because it's not just the food is your person, like per head cost. It's the whole wedding day split over however many people.
Invites, and
it ends up being a
decent
favors a decent chunk of cash on someone that you're not really that bothered about being there anyway.
No, and I think that's like, I guess really it's just the tradition base of how weddings tend to flow. I think there's so many sort of like things that are deemed traditional that realistically are bullshit. Like they're not. They might have worked 200 years ago when you were passing off your daughter to as trade for land or whatever, but it's just lots of things like that just don't fit anymore. They don't work. And I think, personally for me, like, and I find that a lot of the couples that we deal with, being sort of alternative, they're almost looking for that voice of, well, we don't want to be traditional. Like we need, you need like someone that can stand up for them and say, well, we've said this, like we're not traditional. You don't have to be traditional as well. And I think that tends to play well in our favor, because there are lots of people that are quite sick of traditions as well, especially for weddings.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Ashley from With Jack. I'm one of the sponsors of the Perspective podcast. With Jack helps to keep photographers in business by supporting them financially and legally if they have problems with a client or they make a mistake in their work. We've all had that fear of our CF card or our hard drive failing and losing important photos. You can find out more at withjack.co.uk. Head over there and find out how we can help you be a confident creative.
You're right. A lot of the time, couples do just need to be told that they're allowed to not do something. Like they feel the pressure from friends and family that they should be wearing a white dress or whatever, and they just need a supplier or some friend or family to be like, "Why though? You don't have to." And that's just gives them the belief of like, "Oh, I can do it my way, right? Okay."
Yeah. It's literally just that permission piece to be like, you can just do your thing, like you're good. And we do the same, like on a wedding day, we'll say like, if you need 5 minutes, blame it on us.
Yeah.
Like, tell them
Yes.
that you need us, that we need you, and we'll take you away for 5 minutes, because like I'm happy to be scapegoat. Like, if it means that people can do what they want to do, get away from someone they don't want to talk to, go and get a drink instead of being
just a
stood
breather.
stuck.
Like, you know, you surrounded yourself by 100 people, and you know, you may love all of
each
them,
and every one of them,
but it's a busy day, it's hectic, and people need a break. And if we can be the scapegoats for that, like, we're more than happy to have that blame put on us if they can go and chill for
we'll
2
be
minutes.
the permission, the blame, like everything that you like that. Yeah, we'll. I think that's been important for us, for our couples, is to give them that.
Yeah, I think it's a powerful plus to be able to do that for clients, because they, like you said, they almost need permission to bow out of their wedding for a little bit. Like, when we did our couples portrait session with our photographer, like they just said that we weren't sure what to expect with the photography and the video, but we had so much fun. And she was like, I don't want to say I enjoyed it more than hanging out with our friends, but maybe the family. Definitely. I was like, oh, right. Well, okay. Well, I mean, if you want to do more, we can take you away if you want.
That's great. That means you've done your job. Like,
yeah.
Would you say that you attract quite introverted couples? Like, awkward in front of camera? Is that something that's
I mean,
typical?
I think you would expect that from like alternative people.
Mix,
I think there is a big mix of people that are comfortable as much as you can, as comfortable as you can be in front of a camera. But then you obviously get the other end where people really aren't. But I mean, a big part of our business, a big sort of unique selling point for us, is the card game that we've made that we play with all of our couples. That means that they're not, you know, they can be incredibly nervous, they can absolutely hate cameras, but all they're going to do is come and sit with us and play our daft little game for 10 minutes, and they're going to come away with some banging shots, and not having felt like they've been poked and prodded and directed and told what to do. So I mean, we do find that we have people come to us because of the card game, because they know that they've had a photo shoot before, or they just generally don't like being on camera, and that it's it's very much a proven method that has worked well for us. So
yes, and that was the perfect segue, because that was my next question, was to talk about this card game, because I think I messaged you about it, right? I think on one of your Instagram posts, it was like, comment game if you want more information. So I was like, oh yeah, okay.
I was like, you'll get the juicy gossip later.
yes, I wanted the juicy gossip, because obviously you mentioned it on your website, and I'm like, is this a proprietary thing that they do, or can you buy this? Like, I'm intrigued. So tell me more about this card game, how you came about making it. And then, we'll go from there.
So I came up with the card game probably maybe a year to 2 years into sort of weddings, and realizing that I don't like being on camera at that point. Obviously now it's sort of part and parcel with the job, like you kind of have to, don't get away with it anymore. But back then, like, I just didn't like being on camera, so I couldn't then tell people, oh, it's fine. It's fine being on camera. You've got nothing to worry about. And then equally hating it myself. Like, it felt very sort of critical to tell couples that. So I needed a way that I felt like I would be comfortable in front of a camera. And I thought, I like playing board games, like playing card games, video games. Like, I would need something that would distract me from having my photo taken. And I think that's where the card game came into play, because it was something that I could shove in my pocket. I didn't need to worry about bringing out anything elaborate. I didn't need to memorize it, or have prompts on my phone or anything like that. Like, it was a way to make it a bit more interactive for the couple, make them feel like they're doing something other than having their photos taken. And the card game, I made it. I painstakingly went through a business card, I think it was moo.com or something, painstakingly built the deck out in as like business cards, and just had them printed that way. And it's sat, I've still got the exact same card game that was from the original, but now, because over the years I've realized some of the cards work, some of them don't, so I've scribbled them out and written new instructions on and new ways to play the game. So
the basis of the game, though, sorry, were you gonna ask?
No, I was just gonna say, can we see it? Do you have it there? I'm intrigued.
You got it in here?
It'd be in the other room, I think.
Let's grab it. I can grab it.
Can do.
Oh.
But yeah, so the basis of the game is that it's there's a pack of 50 cards. Each card's got a number and an instruction. I just get the couples take it in turns to shout out a number. I'll read out the instruction and then we'll go from there. But there'll be, I guess it's more sort of like prompt based rather than it be like put your hand here, look this way, do this thing. Like it's a question that sort of like evokes a response from them, whether it's something that's a memory from their relationship or maybe it's something daft like power on each other like cats. Like it's something that evokes them to laugh either at me or at each other. And I think that then we're capturing like a natural reaction from the couple. So rather than it be like right, you're in this position, you're holding your flowers here, you've got your hands here. Now look at us and smile. Like it avoids that process completely. And it means that then they're laughing at each other, which is a far more natural reaction for them. It means that any photos they get from that portion of their day, they're not having to think, oh well, the photographers were prodding us for 20 minutes to try and get us to get the right pose and get the photos. Like it's a much more natural progression of photos, and it works quite well for us.
Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know where you've put it.
Okay.
That's all right.
It's fine.
It's just a really shabby old
honestly,
card.
To be fair, it's probably for the best because it's still got my very first logo on the back of all the cards. The case that it's in has been pulled in and out of nearly 300 weddings. Like,
but it's in a revamp at the moment as well.
Yeah,
so we're redesigning and reformatting a lot of the cards, which is very exciting.
Yeah, we're sort of rebuilding it from the ground up hopefully with the intention that it will be something that we can provide as a physical product to photographers and videographers. That's the long term.
Yeah, well, if you want, we can certainly advertise it once it's made.
Yeah.
Or maybe you had an affiliate link, and we'll work with you to help sell it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people, like photographers, struggle. And they pre-plan and they're like, right, I'm going to get these poses, and it becomes almost like like they would never maybe say to couples, oh, I go in with a checklist, but already in thinking about poses in their mind, they have created for themselves a jail of checklist images that can almost become like you could probably see the handful of things that they do in every
it's like
gallery.
A comfortable set of poses that they've got in their like kind of toolkit.
I think as well as it would then blinker you to the creative options of well, the couple actually they're okay with they're a bit more extroverted, so they're happy to be on camera for a little bit longer, or they're happy to do these poses. But if you think, all right, I've got these 10 poses that I know have worked for this other couple, I'll stick with those for now. And then by the time you've done those, you've probably lost the couple's sort of like enthusiasm for, they want to get back to their guests, they want to see the rest of their wedding,
have something to eat,
have something to eat. Is that with the card game, like I
think saying as well, like that photographers going with like a mental map. That was something that you didn't like either, was it? Was the telling people what to do or how, like the direction is, especially if you're like a more introverted photographer or someone who like isn't a great big speaker or whatever, like it takes that pressure off of you as a service provider as well as like we're just following like
we're just going to play a game.
Like it's really low key, it doesn't take a lot of thought processes, you're not having that like stress of okay, we've got to get them with their foreheads together or got to get the dress moving in this certain way. Like it's all completely off your hands, so you're able to do your job with creativity. And the great thing about the cards is that whilst they're designed to kind of give a certain outcome, like some of them will start with the couple facing each other or looking away or whatever, each example is individual to that couple, because how they interpret that card will be different every time. So it's really nice, a really nice way to get different outcomes.
But I think as well is what it does is it opens up. So obviously in the beginning the game was made again to avoid couples' discomfort on being on camera, my discomfort of directing people on camera. But I think over the years it's been able to sort of like evolve where, you know, if the couple are incredibly introverted or incredibly shy, we can just play the game. The game, you know, like I said, there's 50 cards. We can do as many as they are comfortable, and you can sort of, you know, you guys know you can gauge that. But obviously, if people are, then you know, you play a few and you realise actually they're fine, they're quite comfortable, they're relaxed. Then you can start to look at doing things that are a bit more directed. You can, you know, make the dress flow. You can do different things with different people, and I think that's, you know, it's a really good sort of like almost like an icebreaker to couples that are extroverted or couples that are comfortable on the camera. That's just a good sort of like starting point to know where you can take the shoot from there.
Okay, how much fun can we have here?
Yeah.
How far can we go?
Yeah.
Speaking about like, on you go, Simon.
No, I was just going to ask for a couple of examples. Like, I mean, I'm just so intrigued. So I'm a gamer. I like games. So I'm intrigued what's on these cards, because, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, it'll be like, well, no, not knowing you guys, it's not going to be this. But like in the back of my mind, if I think, oh, card game, it'll just be like, you know, because we work with so many other photographers who do say random things to couples to, you know, get a reaction. Like, who's the person that we need to worry about, whatever they say. I can't actually remember. And I'm just like, oh, it would just be like sayings or like things like this, or, you know, all this kind of like stuff I've heard before. But knowing you, it's probably not going to be like that. So I'm just intrigued.
We've got some funky ones. We've got it varies from like stuff that would be palatable by everybody, and then stuff that's a little bit more unhinged.
Oh, I think yes. Give me an unhinged one. Give me a hinged one. An unhinged one, please.
I mean, to be, I mean, again, it depends on the couple, but I mean, one that I really enjoy doing, and I always leave it to the very end, is I just need you to yell your favorite swear word. Because again, that one shows you the type of couple that you've got, because the swear words will vary from nincompoop to the C word, which I've had a bride shout from the balcony that we were shooting on, forgetting that all of her guests were below her. There's like 150 guests. Her grandparents are there, and she's just yelled the C word off the balcony, which was fantastic. But the photos from that are brilliant and probably still some of my favorite now. But that's always a good one, because it just means that they're not having to sort of pose in any way, but they're shouting whatever word it is that they've chosen as their favorite, but you can almost always guarantee afterwards they've looked at each other and they've just absolutely lost themselves, and they're just creasing up because, you know, it's funny, they've done something silly, and it's then to say, like, you're not necessarily capturing them swearing, but you're capturing them laughing at each other afterwards, which just gives some really nice natural photos without them having to. I mean, you're not going to get someone into a pose of laughing particularly naturally.
No. So they'll go from like sentimental. So some of them will be like word based, like especially for the like more introverted ones, is like stories. Or so we try and do it about the day. So rather than trying to get people to on the spot be like from something years ago, like, oh, when did you first know that you loved them? Like, that's a big question that requires a lot of thought processing, at least for me with an ADHD brain. I can't 100%. Come up with something like that quickly. But if it's more like, what's been your favorite part of the morning? It's like, okay, that was today. I can do that. Like, I've done that this morning. I know where I'm at. Like that works. So for the more conversational stuff, it'll be like specific, like weird questions about the morning. So it's like, what's the most unhinged thing that's happened like already thus far or whatever? Trying to get those conversations out. And then we've got stuff that's like pairing each other like cats, or make some weird noises, or like stuff like that. It's silly.
I say because it's within those moments. Then you can then pick up, because I mean, obviously, it's like a big part of the job is trying to make them smile, and trying to make them smile is generally, photographers tend to have lines that they're looking out for, jokes that they can make, like, or things that they can say to make the couple laugh. And I think then within those moments of they've just been told to do something stupid, you can then sort of like join in with them on that laughter and sort of keep it going, make them, more jokes, and make them, the ability to joke with themselves, and still keep getting good shots the whole
there's
time.
some really good ones in the new pack, but I don't want to divulge any of the
new
new ones.
No, it's fine. It's fine
because we're literally like in the middle of.
We've like gone through all the ones that we're like, okay, we can update that now. We can like change it and bring new.
Some of them it would be like, I remember it was I think one that I put in because I think the Notion on camera worked really well, but I got rid of it really early on. I just scribbled it out and wrote something else on. But I think it was hug each other like it's your last, which on camera, a nice big cuddle is lovely, a nice big embrace. But when you're saying that on their wedding, the first day of their newly
just got
married, telling them to hug like it's their last felt really morbid, and I think I scrapped that one quite quickly. But it's
been a big trial and error.
The funny thing is that I always knew, like, because it was number 7, and I always remember it because every time someone called out number 7, I'd be like, for God's sake, I've got to say the really stupid one again. So yeah, that one went pretty quick, I think. But
speaking a bit more about like on the day and how you guys work. When it's a photo only, does one of you take a lead role more than the other? And then maybe more interestingly, when it's photo video, who does what? Like, tell us a bit more about how the dynamic is on the day.
Yeah, so when it's two photographers, I mean, I guess just naturally because it's been Scott Moray photography for a long time, I guess I take lead instinctively on that. But at the same time, I always hated the thought of, again, it's why it became Burn the Scripts, it's why it became a company for both of us, is I didn't want it to feel like Olivia was just a second shooter. Like, by no stretch is that the case. Like, Olivia is a more capable photographer than I would ever be myself. Like, we did a styled shoot the other
Tuesday before.
Tuesday.
This week's been manic.
Yeah, we did a styled shoot on Tuesday, and obviously Olivia did the photo and I did the video, and there's no, like, all of the shots are incredible. So to take her to a wedding where there's 2 photographers and say Olivia's just a second shooter, it feels so demeaning. It's unreal. So it's always just been responsibility. So when it's both of us are doing photo, I'll take like a lead in terms of maybe talking to the couples, and we'll get in the order of the day. But like when it comes to the creative side of things, Olivia normally will also step in, and we'll just both be equal in that decision making process of, we're going to go over this way and do photos, we're going to take the couple to this room, or we're going to do this thing. Like it tends to be quite fair in that sense. Photo and video.
It's me on photo.
I'll be video. Olivia's normally photo. So like I say, it's always been quite 50-50 in terms of both of us. Like I say, for the most part, Olivia's 100% more creative than I have ever been. So it works quite well.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So what's your approach with the filming then? Are you, because to be a solo filmmaker is quite difficult. Not just because you have to really think about what it is you want to capture, but also like dealing with audio, so miking people up for speeches and the ceremony. Like, nobody fucking likes that. Nobody enjoys that process. So like, Olivia, do you help out on that end of things, or Scott, are you just like all of it.
I offer a helping hand.
And
Whether it's taken is, I don't. I'll kind of do my thing while you do yours, simply because I don't want moments to be lost during that setup of at least something being captured. So, whilst you're setting up for ceremony, getting whoever it is, bridegroom, couple at the end of the aisle getting them mic'd up, I'll be getting, the anticipation from the people getting married, from the audience from the guests, that kind of stuff, so that those bits are captured while you kind of faff around with wires. And
I think it's that thing of like, when you've got the job to do, like in your mind, exactly what you're doing, where all the gear is in your bag, who it is that you need to go in, mic up, where you need to put static cameras, like, and I think that's like we both get into our own creative processes, and I know obviously we've both got our own workflows at those points in the day, so it just does become like a sort of almost robotic. I know, I'm putting my gear here, it's stored in this corner, I'm going to go and mic up these people, I'm going to go put cameras down over here, like, and then from then on, I've always tried to still take a tact of video in the same sense that I would have with photo, in that it's still very sort of natural documentary. Like, there's no trying not to sort of tell people what to do and where to be. Like, it's I've got very used to the photography side of things in terms of capturing things as and when they happen, rather than sort of forcing things to happen or faking moments. Like, it's well, we always tell couples that we're there to tell the story, not to make it up. And I think that's the approach that I've always taken with video, is that it's, once I have those pieces in place, once I have people mic'd up that need to be, and I've got at least a static camera pointing in the direction I need it, generally it's then walking around with another camera and just filming again, sort of in the same sense that I would have done with photography.
So run us through what's in the video kit bag first.
Okay, so, well, again, this is mid upgrade at the moment, but we run largely on Canon R6s. I've, for the longest time, I've had a 5D Mark III in my kit for forever, because it's just the one that I first ever used for photography, and it just sort of followed me through.
Sure.
But I think more recently I've just been not let down by it, just, I guess, a little bit disappointed in its capabilities in comparison to more recent cameras. Obviously, a 5D Mark III's probably 18, nearly 20 years old, I'd imagine now. It's quite old now.
Yeah, it's quite old.
But it's yeah. So what we've been, again, as part of the reason why we went to the photo show the other day, is looking at the Canon C50. So to bring it into a bit more of a cinema camera. And then again, sort of need to step up on all the lenses, but I tend to sort of run and gun with a 35.
Okay.
As my lens of choice on the R6, just because it's been, they've been quite capable cameras, really. Like, I think you can scream and shout about megapixel count all day long, but at the end of the day, the couple aren't really going to know that when they're watching it on a TV. So, it's normally those two, and then you've normally got a couple of R6s as well, just to sort of dual shoot, which tend to be an 85 and
85 is my favorite.
Yeah, we've got. I don't know if it's a 85 1.4, but it's it's just
such
I've
a
always loved
lovely
that lens
lens
as well. Yeah,
That is my favorite. But yeah, I tend to switch between.
But yeah, then again, microphones are all sort of in the process of being upgraded at the moment, because we've got Rode mics on bodies tend to be, but again, it's not even, it's just those are the ones that I picked a long time ago, and those are the ones that I've stuck with ever since. Is you sort of get to know the gear that you've got, and that's what I've stuck with, really. It's the same why we're both on Canon now, because it's very first camera, even before sort of doing anything professionally. It was well, I've got a Canon, so I'll see what goes with that, and that's just kind of what stuck, really. But And then, I mean, we've got the drone, the DJI 3.
I don't remember
Oh my
any
gosh,
of
why
these
has that
names.
left my
This
brain?
is so hard for me.
The Mini 3?
Minis. Yeah.
Yeah. The nice small one that you can just
This
fit in a
one,
bag and
that one.
whap out. Yeah, that's what we've got as well.
Purposely, but it was purposely for that. Like, I didn't, you could go and buy anything bigger, Mavic Pro, but then you're looking at like, one, lugging more stuff around, but two, it's just, I don't know. I mean, obviously at some point would love to have a bigger drone, but that does everything that you need it to for when you're chucking it up to go and get a 30-second clip of the venue from above and maybe some shots of guests later on. Like, you're not doing anything generally too extensive with it that it can't handle, but that I found so far anyway. Like, it's and
then we normally have the Pocket and a 360 camera.
So I mean, they're
just to complicate.
It's more it's that, like, again, it's being on camera yourselves and showing you doing your work and what you do so that you can put it on socials. So we've got those. Normally one of us has got a 360 camera on at any one point, and then the Pocket is normally just sort of
somewhere
chucked down somewhere so that it's can get some shots of us working whilst we're also
so that's just to film you,
just more for socials. Occasionally a clip might make it into a final video, but only if it's like it serves the purpose of the the story. But generally it's more just for us. But I mean, and occasionally,
otherwise,
like,
it feels really stressful trying to get like extra TikToks or extra content on wedding days.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is that I've never ever wanted to. I just wouldn't want to be at a wedding and see a photographer or videographer like doing a TikTok or making it, doing anything like that at a wedding and like being caught out for it. It just feels quite cringy. So I've just, any content of us working generally is a camera that's just been chucked down somewhere and we are within frame and we can get that so that we can use it for socials. But
So in terms of like tripods, then as a filmmaker, so you mentioned that you tend to lock something off and have it pointed in the direction, and then with the other camera you'd go and get stuff. So I'm assuming it's just a tripod. One tripod is what you have. You're not like monopods and gimbals and you're all handheld.
I've got, so again, it depends on for me the venue on whether I put the gimbal out or not. But I mean, one of the downsides that I've found with Canon is that, well, especially with the R6s at least, is there's no in-body stabilization, which again, if you're running about without a gimbal, I find I struggle with personally, because the amount of times where I've done handheld stuff for just sort of our own family bits and pieces, and it's like, Christ, like I'd look like I've just been like running
coffees
around, like shaking all over the place. But I've got the RS4 gimbal, which tend to use quite frequently for weddings. But again, it just varies on location. Generally, ceremony, I'd probably use the gimbal just so that we've got smooth, stabilized footage for that. And then, as I say, normally one of the cameras is set up on tripod. Normally, if space allows, is down the aisle shot, so that we've got like an entirety of bride and groom with celebrant or registrar, whoever it may be. And then, I mean, again, it just depends on what I'll tend to do is I might move it during different parts of the ceremony so that we do have different reactions of different people. But
it's just one static.
It's something to look at some point, is to then have it's that whole thing of like, I like to run with like light gear so that we're not like lugging lots and lots of gear all over the place. I would like to eventually have it so that we've got two statics and then at least me running around with a third. But it's that whole, like, I saw a TikTok the other day, and the videographer had set up he had five statics and then his own as well, and I just thought, like, even just the editing of that after it must be absolutely insane to have 5 separate cameras, all different angles, different focal lengths, and I just that baffled me a little bit. I think I would probably cap it at 2 so that I can at least get multiple angles and move with a third. But
that's madness, by the way. 5 cameras.
Yeah, five's insane.
I don't want to criticize anyone too much because we all have our different ways of working, but 5 cameras is a lot. It's a lot for just managing equipment on the day. Because if you're slow moving, you're going to be missing stuff. Like managing 5 cameras, you're going to be missing you're not thinking about, like, that's coverage. More intentionality. Be more intentional. But 2, you're always working alongside another creative. That's fucking shit for the photographer.
Imagine saying trying not to get in any of those shots would be insane, wouldn't it? You just you'd be forever on camera somewhere.
So don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. Sorry. I'm not going to judge you, but stop being a dick. Terrible. But yeah, Olivia is just always getting your frames. He does, doesn't he? You can tell us. It's okay.
No, to be fair, it's normally there was one wedding last year, and I don't know what happened, but we just kept
I'd gone in to change to get another battery or to restock my battery pockets. And you were out with a couple doing some video because there's a lovely big waterfall right in front of this big house. Like lovely. I didn't know that they were shooting. I thought they were just going for a walk, like whatever. So I'd come out of this big, lovely building and I'm running down these stairs, like none the wiser, whatever. And then I clocked Scott across the way and I was like, shit, I'm in frame. Started running to the left and I was like, no, he's shooting this way. Ran back the other way, looked like an absolute idiot. But it's hilarious content and it went really well.
It ended up on social. It's so funny. Like you just see a walk because
you can see my brain turn on like, oh shit.
Actually on a 35, I'm quite with the venue in the distance. It's quite a wide shot, so it's like you can literally see everything, but at every point you can see Olivia's movement. Like I'm going to go that way. Oh, fuck no, I'm going to go back the other way and just run across frame. It's fantastic.
But other than that.
Yeah,
we're fairly.
Normally we're pretty good at keeping out of each other's shots, but it's every now and again it's either never at all or absolute gold.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That is amazing. Here I'm gonna do our listeners maybe a little bit of a favor and not play a PickTime ad, but since you guys use PickTime, let's actually talk about it because it's a sponsor and we love using it. Just to let you know, listeners, if you're interested in PickTime, we have a affiliate code or an ambassador code. If you use Perspective, you can get 3 months. A free month? I can't remember what it is. An extra month of free PickTime usage. But yeah, we love PickTime. How do you use it? What's your favorite features?
So it's followed me since Scott Murray Photography. It's been my sort of platform of choice for quite a while. I was never particularly fond of the CRMs that you can have where it's a CRM and it's the galleries and prints and everything's all in one. Like I could at the point I was looking, I could never find anything that sort of fit within my workflow. So we ended up with I've used a CRM called Tave, which is now VSCO, but I've used that for years. And PickTime, there were other gallery platforms that I've used over the times, but again, PickTime just sort of fits quite nicely within the workflow.
As a graphic designer, I really enjoy the layouts of it because it's clean.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of other galleries look messy.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Like I on the pre-recorded ad that we did ages ago, I was like, it's the best looking one, and I still think that. Like, I just like it.
And it's
just
so
looks
easy.
Good.
It's so easy to like attach your brand onto it and have it, so everything going out is on brand, which is really important, like for the whole user experience. I think that really plays a big part.
Yeah.
But I've just seen that they've started doing the like vendor part of it as well. I don't know if it's new or not, but where we did the styled shoot the other day, we were then like, oh, we can bring all of the vendors on board as well. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Which makes it so much easier to share work with other vendors and also have them easily tag everyone that was involved in that shoot, because all their information's there, which is ideal.
I think so again, like, we used it like obviously exclusively as what it's designed for is galleries for our couples. And I think that's always been, I just really liked how sort of simple it is for people to be able to just get in, see their photos, download them. There's no real sort of like hassles or lots of hoops that they've got to jump through to be able to do that.
You don't have to explain how to use it or anything. No, it's just so user-friendly.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, that's a very valid point, is that I don't think, I mean, that we've got hundreds of galleries in PicTime, and I don't think there may be a very select handful where we've had to say, like, to give guidance on how they do it. Most of the time, most people are able to figure it out pretty quickly, even if they're not particularly tech savvy. And I think from our perspective of, our workflow, that is fantastic, because it means we're not having to take time out of doing anything else to then go and handhold
give a tutorial
through to how to do anything in PicTime, which is great for us. I have used the sort of like the blog portion loosely a couple of years ago, but I found, I mean, it was more of I want people to be coming through to our website for SEO rather than through to the PicTime website. So that was more personal preference. The thing that does get me a little bit, and we're both sort of big on the fence of AI, of using it as a tool but not your entire workflow, is that you can instantly see as soon as a photographer has put a blog out and they've used the AI function of PicTime, because
that's not even just PicTime. It's AI generally.
But I can immediately pick out a photographer's blog if it's been written by PicTime, because it says the exact same cheesy, corny stuff that people just don't say in real life. But the AI function of being able to find photos and find suppliers, like being able to just type in, you've got an entire gallery, and then just type in flowers because you want to send those shots to the florist, is phenomenal. Like things like that is ridiculously handy, being able to do that.
Great tool.
With the vendor network, I only just discovered recently that they've partnered up or got associated with Wedding Workflows, which we spoke to Rick Liston on the podcast, who created that. And it's a way of like gathering all the vendors' website, email address, and Instagram tags. So we get our couples to fill that in for us, gets all their vendors, and you can actually now just import that into PicTime from Wedding Workflows.
Incredible.
And it's like,
brilliant.
I didn't know that happened.
Game changer.
I don't know how I missed
that's
it, but
cool.
I like that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that is really
We'll
cool.
add that to our list of to-dos.
But very handy. Plus, I mean, they've been doing the whole video integration as well. But when we were helping them develop that side of things, it just seemed like such a no-brainer to have that, especially for photo and video teams. To have everything in the one place and have it look the same and as one is great. And probably on the last note, sorry, Scott, what were you going to say?
No. My only gripe with the video side is I need more. I need more of everything on the video side. We've got unlimited for the photography. I need unlimited everything else.
We have mentioned that to them.
Storage costs they're a tough one to try and get the balance of.
It is really tough. So I sympathize. But yeah. No, the other thing, obviously you said that you don't really prioritize any kind of sales on the back end, but I feel like there's a good few features where you can just like turn on things and it just helps give some options for prints and albums and all that kind of stuff, which I think is really useful if you're not really into all that kind of salesy stuff. because their products and suppliers that they get to print all their stuff are actually really good. So, cool.
Anyway, back to burn this script. Let's look at some of your photos.
Back to these guys. That was too addy. Too addy.
We don't like selling.
We don't like selling. But let's go to show and tell. Okay, so this is where I've gone through some of your work, and I just want the backstory. I want why you posted this image, anything about it. So this first image for me, I actually just wanted to know the story, because at first I was like, oh, it's a military. Nope, they're not swords. They're bike wheels. What the hell is going on in this story?
Oh, I love it.
So these guys, they were very, very avid road cyclists. And all of their guests also were, obviously all of their friends and family, all very avid cyclists. And something that they decided that they were going to do is that they were all going to bring a wheel from their bike and do the pose exactly what you it's not often that you, I mean, this is a one of a kind shot for us, you know. I mean, how often
probably
do you
for
have
most
that?
People.
I've probably got more shots of people holding swords above heads rather than bicycle wheels. So it was just one of those, like, as soon as they said that they would like to do that, I was like, you don't have a choice now. You are doing that shot. Like, it's such a cool.
So this is all the guests brought their own wheels.
Yeah.
That is such a bizarre.
How much commitment is that?
I mean, a couple of the guests turned up on their bikes. Yeah. So it's it's a real dedication to the cause for sure.
Yeah. No, that is so good. You know, it's funny because obviously your burn the script, your alternative. When I look at this couple, I don't feel that alternative, like, I don't know, young tattooed dock wearing couple, but the vibes of this do for me. So I just liked it for that.
I think that's it. I think a big part of what we do, and well, I mean, just who we are as people, is that you don't need to be covered in tattoos or have mohawks or pink hair or listen to Slipknot. Like, that doesn't necessarily mean that makes you alternative. Like, it's alternative
it's such a big spectrum.
It's just anything from the ordinary of weddings. And I mean, like I said, like, that's a one of a kind shot for us. And it's just one of those, like, that in itself is an alternative wedding because it's not traditional. I mean, that wedding took place. That's actually one of their friends' back gardens. It just backs onto a farm. They had a huge like bell tent type thing in the garden. The family who own the land, they're a very traditional I think Indian family. So they made all of their food, and it was all handmade and all very hand fed. Yeah, part of, obviously, like, Indian tradition is that everything's eaten by hand, and they were they were one of the I don't even know what it was called, but it was like a like a poppadom ball, and they were having to put the food in. And then I've got shots of the family, like, feeding guests their food. Like, you know, normally it's like a big no to get shots of people eating, but when it's like such an intimate moment of being, like, hand fed by an adult, it's just it's quite an interesting shot. But yeah, again, it is just that alternative.
I think it's being yourself and doing the things your way. It doesn't necessarily have to be like
black and fire,
heavy metal and like
it
can just be people that are in love and love their thing and want to do it, like, show their love for that thing as well.
Yeah. When we were, I don't know if you've heard of Thrive. It's a photography workshop run by Photography Farm. It was in Edinburgh. Peak Time with the sponsors there, not to get back into Peak Time, I'm so sorry, but they were doing a section where people would send their images up, and other photographers would talk about this particular image. And there's this one photographer, I'm so sorry if you're listening, I've forgotten your name, sorry, but he had this picture of the bride kind of cut off her her head and her abdomen, and it was just like, I can't remember, the bride's got to eat or something like that, and she was just like shoving food into her mouth, and his talk was like how when he used to do photography for another company or for another person, he was told never to shoot people eating, and so it was just a nice reminder that you can still question all the rules of what we're told to do at weddings to get a cracking image. And I thought, yes, this kind of like what you were just saying kind of like screams out to me. But yes. Anyway, next image, Gregory. Yeah, cool.
Oh yeah, this was
it's great.
Sorry, go on.
No, it's right. It's fine. You know what? Fuck it. I talk too much. So you fucking just tell me about this image. I love it.
Too much too.
So this one, this was the couple. They literally just turned up to their reception. They got married. It's in a registry office in the town, and this was in sort of a place in the town where there's lots of bars and pubs, and they were stood there waiting for all of their guests to go inside because we'd all arrived on an old vintage bus, and just the Shores, that was their last name. It was the neon light that you could see through the window that they'd had put in the venue, and I just thought, like, again, it's quite a cool shot to be able to have the reflection of the bride and groom with their name, and it not be like them just stood underneath the neon sign. Like it feels like a much more sort of like sort of documentary shot. Like there's no real pose in there. It was just I'm not, to be fair, I'm not even, if I remember correctly, I don't think I even particularly told them to do anything. They would just happen to be looking through the window, and it just felt like such a natural shot to take.
Yeah, no, I like it for that. It's kind of like a Where's Wally, because you can look at this for quite a long time and be like, there's a lot of information. Where do you dart your eyes? And then you've got these like nice kind of almost third things coming in, and then the vertical lines. I don't know, there's just a lot going on, and I really like it. And there's the couple, and then like I said, their names. So I'm intrigued. Did you get the portrait of them underneath their names, or were you like, nah?
I think there's one. There's definitely one of them, but I think they've got friends. I think they might have had friends in with that one. But I was happy with that shot. Like, I thought I could go and get the shot of them stood underneath their neon sign, but that's far surpasses it in my mind of it being a cool shot.
Yeah, I would agree. Again, no shade if you do the portrait of them by the names straight on.
No,
I've done it. It can look amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, next image, Gregory. Oh, bad. So this
It's you again.
oh, sorry. This is
No,
all
no,
Scott's work. I'm so sorry. I didn't know whose images it was, so I just went with what stood out to me. But this is actually really funny because I didn't recreate this shot because I have done the shot a few times, but I was thinking of this image at my last wedding, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the top of the stairs. I'm going to shoot down, just like you guys did, because we got some like, it was a nice dark staircase with a big window, and so there was just this shot of the bride going down with her dad. But I have always loved this kind of like looking down a lovely, I mean, would you call this spiraling staircase? It is spiraling, but it's in a square.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
really steep, that one, wasn't it?
It was. Well, steep, and none of the steps were the same depth apart as the next one, so you knew no idea whether you were going to step down and break your ankle or if you were going to end up on the next landing. Like, it was
interesting.
I think I was more capturing the photo for their insurance purposes more than anything.
Yeah, but no, I really liked this image. So tell me about it. Like, why did you take it? Did you have any forethought before this moment happened, or was it just a case of you were lagging behind everyone else and you just saw it?
No, I think it's one of those. I mean, it might just be me, but I think every every photographer has got shots that they sort of remember in their mind of whether it's another photographer's work they've seen or an artist's impression, or there's lots of shots that that always stick in your mind when you're at weddings of like, oh, I'd like to get a shot like this if there's chance. And there's always a shot that I remember of, and it's a much more like spiral staircase. It's probably, I don't know, in Italy or somewhere like much more luxurious than Romsey where this was. But and I just thought there's going to be at some point when everyone leaves the room, because where I'm stood is right outside where the bride and bridesmaids all got ready. And I just thought at some point there's going to be a cool shot of even just the bride leaving, but obviously it happened that there's more than just the bride. The bridesmaids are following suit as well. And I knew that was a shot that I wanted to get. So I made sure that I was ready, bags in hand, outside the door for them to leave so that I could hang over and get that shot and then sort of chase after them without breaking my ankle. And yeah, so that it was definitely like it was forethought in there of wanting to get a shot of the bride walking down. And like I said, just managed to get lucky with the bridesmaids following behind.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Dare I say next image, Greg? I'm nervous. I want it to be an Olivia image.
That isn't me.
Yes.
This is an Olivia one, yeah.
Thank God. Thank fucking Christ. Oh my God. The pressure there. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Smashed it.
All right. Jesus Christ. So I like this image. It's very playful. This does scream your brand to me, this particular image. I mean, you've got that lovely green velvet satin?
Yeah, it was definitely velvet.
Yeah, it was
velvet. Yeah. Velvet suit, which is just amazing. Tattoo couple, and obviously just good. So tell me about this image.
So cool. These guys were so cool. They were so fun. Their wedding was a Halloween wedding, so it was like all the spooky vibes, and it was just a good amount of fun, that wedding, wasn't it?
Part of their I can't think of the word now. Like one thing that they wanted to make sure we did when we were at their wedding is that they had a fancy dress Halloween costume competition, and they said a condition of you guys coming is that you have to be involved in that, and we took that by storm, didn't we?
Yeah, so that everyone got changed between ceremony and
between food and evening,
after food, before all the evening guests arrived. So we went with the bride and groom to their honeymoon suite and got changed into our Halloween costumes and went back in as a skeleton in the bat, and it was great.
Who is the skeleton?
I was a bat.
I was a skeleton, but I'd like to say that we didn't just go with like a simple, we could have gone with a mask and that'd be it, but
it was face paint.
Olivia face painted everything on both of us. It was impressive.
It was wicked.
So cool.
It was so good.
That is
fun drive home then.
Yeah.
With some looks on the way back, yeah.
But I feel like this is one of those shots that like you can't get away with it with everybody. Like if you've got like a real introverted couple that like aren't bantery or like just don't have like as much going, it's harder to get these types of shots. So these are probably some of the most like posed ones that we do, because we have to specifically ask them to do that thing, because a lot of the times if you said like, oh, show us your rings, someone's gonna just show you their whole hand rather than getting like that middle finger vibe out. But it was fun.
No, you're right. But for me, it's that depth as well. So we were again. I'm talking about this wedding because it was just the first wedding that we've done of the year, so it's very recent. But she had the bride had the Shrek bag that was like bejeweled and stuff, and I was just like, this is so interesting. So I was just like, hold it out in front, very much like this, and you know, they were just together laughing and giggling, and I'm pretty sure I got a couple of shots of them kissing and stuff. But yeah, it was that playing with the depth. It was like featuring this one element, but it still had them in the background.
Yeah.
Because I too I was shooting with the 2870 2 f2. So I had that depth, which was really great. So yeah, I always like that, because you don't always need to be like, obviously you're focused on this detail, but there is a story behind in the blur, and I always like what is happening in the background of things. I
think we've always liked as well is that it's, I think with documentary, like there is obviously a lot of opportunity there for it to become like a bit of an art form in terms of the photos that you're taking. But I know that we both enjoy trying to take photos like this, where it could be quite easily put in like a big print on their wall in their living room, and it's not like it's not a definitive like, oh, look at our faces. Like it's something a bit different. It still feels like a piece of art that could be in the home, but it just happens to feature the hands. Or
more. I feel like it's more story led. Like it feels less like, I don't know, like I don't like just putting pictures of us on the wall. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just a me thing, but like if there's just like a nice photo of us where we'd gone out for dinner or something, I probably wouldn't put that on a wall, but something that felt more like...
I mean, to be fair, we've got a photo in our hallway it's us two and my daughter wearing... We've all got our Converses on, and we've got our, in that typical like emo, like feet are all together, and it's the shot down. But because of the height between all of us in the corner of the shot, and it's quite big, but you don't notice it because the focal point is the Converse in the middle, is my daughter's face looking up at the camera with some sunglasses on, and it's until you sort of like you take yourself out of like looking at the shoes and you pull back and you're like, oh, what's that? Oh, that's Elizabeth's face. Like it's just like it's that sort of,
there's more to what the shot is.
What the image is.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so good. I think that was the last one, wasn't it? I was a well-behaved boy. Although, no, that's 4. That's 4. So I've gone over by 1. Fuck's sake. So last question before we sign off. Do you have any book recommendations, or audiobooks count? Other reads? You can even open up to movies or anything that you've learned from business, or any recommendations.
Ooh,
that's a tricky one.
I
have like a list of books that I've been trying to read for...
you've got like loads of stuff
the longest time, but it's just I never find the time to sit and read, but I literally don't.
I mean, we watch a lot of Alex Hormozy, or like listen to a lot of Alex Hormozy, which is just kind of business and sales. Okay. He's a big name. You'll find that quite quickly. You're like, oh, this guy's freaking everywhere.
As soon if you haven't seen him already, as soon as you search him, he will be
everywhere
on every social media platform you've got
in your algorithm.
So I'm sorry.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry in advance.
Probably even just saying his name out loud is
danger.
Put him in your phones already.
Oh right, yeah, okay,
yeah. I mean, he's sort of a self-made, very very much a self-made businessman, but he I mean, he's got some really interesting theories, but obviously, again, like the sales, because he's an American, the sales methods of Americans generally is a lot harsher than what the typical UK person is probably used to. So it's quite aggressive, I guess.
Sales tactics,
aggressive sales,
is not us, but
which isn't us at all.
It's more the premises of what he says is good, and he's very good on mindset, and I feel like that's such a big thing for us, and a big thing that's changed the way that we run the business is completely shifting our mindsets on who we can attract, the types of prices that they pay, all of like what we're worth, all of that kind of stuff, the types of communities and relationships that we can build within the industry. That side of stuff's been really big for us. But I think the one thing I'd say about advice, because I do coaching for wedding suppliers as well, that's like the other part of what I do, but whenever I do that side of my business, I always say, no matter who you read, learn from, no matter what you watch, take what works for you and leave what doesn't, because everyone has a different perspective and different idea of what is good, what's the best, what's going to work, what's not. But it is all subjective, and you can take bits, leave bits. Don't get annoyed about the bits that don't work for you. It wasn't like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. And just go with what you feel actually drawn to physically and mentally on, like, okay, what feels right? And if it doesn't, leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
like as you say, Alex Hormozy, a lot of people could look at that and be like, whoa, I couldn't do that. But if you just take the inspiration and tone it down to wherever you're comfortable, then it can work. Yeah.
Run with it. Yeah.
I've definitely seen his face on something.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you haven't seen him. Like, he's absolutely everywhere.
Okay, cool. I'll have a look at that. Where can people find you online?
Everywhere that they might look. So we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we are on Facebook, newly on YouTube. We are on Threads.
So it's Burn the Script _ on Instagram, Burn the Script everywhere. Is it Burn the Script _ on TikTok?
Burn the Script on TikTok, Burn the Script _ on Instagram, Burn the Script Weddings on Facebook, just to be annoying.
Yeah, Meta did us real dirty. Yeah, said that we couldn't put the brand name.
I think on Facebook we're still Scott Morey photo and video, because it won't let us change as a whole thing.
We've spoken to Spot. It's been a whole thing.
Fun times.
And we are www.burnscript.co.uk.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So if you're interested in seeing their work, go to their website. And people can find us at Perspective by Cinemate, more or less everywhere. YouTube, Instagram. Oh, that's it. And our website is obviously www.perspectivebycinema.com. Thank you with Jack and PickTime for sponsoring another episode of this podcast. And look, I don't really ask for reviews too much, but if you could leave a review wherever, that would be amazing. I think the last one was about 2 years ago. That's probably the last time I asked for a review. But everyone keeps on coming up to me and compliments the podcast. So if you came up to me and complimented the podcast, thank you. That inflated my ego. So that's great. But do me a favor and just go write something nice, or just ChatGPT, write something nice for the boys, and just copy and paste it. That's terrible advice. Don't do that. if you like the podcast, leave some nice words, please. I would love you forever. I promise you. Okay. Yes. And you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one. However,
in the meantime,
enjoy your life.